This video is sponsored by Nomad Lane. If you're watching this video, I'm guessing you want to know which are the best earphones for air travel in 2020. There are a ton of cheap options out there, but some of the popular higher end options are the Apple AirPods Pro, as well as the Sony WH-1000MX3s. In this video, we're going to help you decide. Let me introduce myself. My name is Paul, and on this channel, we do tech and gadget reviews. Make sure to check out the description below so you can find links to these products, as well as any updates since I posted the video. For air travel, we all want something that is portable, blocks out the sound, keeps us entertained, lasts the entire trip, and are comfortable. We're going to use that exact criteria to rank them. Let's see how they compare. When it comes to air travel, size is big. Well, space is important. We want everything to be as small as possible. The Sonys do fold up, and they'll fit in this nice little case right here. This is extremely important and nice, keeps them well protected, and you can see that this is gonna fit in your bag, but this is quite a bit larger than the AirPods Pro. Look at this little case that it comes with. You just plop them in there, and you can fit this in your pocket if you want to. This thing can even fit in this case, and they'll fit just fine. The whole thing can zip up. So they are extremely small. The only downside I found with the AirPods Pro is with this case, it could flip open in your luggage and they could tumble out. So make sure to put it in a smaller pocket or something like that so we don't have to dig around and find them if that happens. For portability, we're gonna give 2 Game Boys to the Sonys and 4.5 Game Boys to the AirPods Pro, but we have a lot more to go, so let's see how they line up. We all know that constant sound that you hear during air travel, and in general, it's annoying, but in particular, if you're trying to listen to music or videos or something with normal earbuds, and yes, these are the original ones with the little 3.5mm plug on them, it's really frustrating because you have to turn the volume all the way up and it still doesn't sound very good, could be harmful for your ears, who knows. The Sony WH-1000 XM3s are some of the best earphones in the market that money can buy to block out noise on air travel today. These things are absolutely amazing. You can even use the app to adjust for the atmospheric pressure while you're in flight. I personally couldn't tell the difference, but I did think it was pretty cool. What you're gonna hear through these is the slightest of the low and mid tones of what sounds like air going through a hose or perhaps the ocean, and that's pretty much it. I listen to a ton of different devices, my phone, TVs, entertainment systems while on the flights, and I can put them all on the absolute lowest volume setting and still hear words and audio and everything just fine. Pretty impressive. The Apple AirPods Pro also have active noise canceling in them. They have little inserts that go in the ear that also help block the noise out. They're not quite as good as the Sonys, and it's gonna sound more the mid and upper tones of a vacuum cleaner that's really faint in the distance is what you're gonna hear when you're in the air. Again, I could hear and make out the words and everything on the lowest volume settings, which surprised me with these little earbuds, but they're not quite as good as the Sonys. I was really impressed with both of these, and the AirPods Pro surprised me the most because I didn't think they'd work that well. For blocking out sound, the Sony WH-1000 XM3s get 4.5 earplugs because I can hear the ever so faintest sound and I gotta leave room for something more in the future. And the AirPods Pro get 3.5 earplugs. This still puts the AirPods Pro in the lead. Entertainment is key on flights. You are stuck in a small space for hours on end. It's gonna be maddening and often with nothing to do. Both of these can use Bluetooth to connect to your phone, your laptop, a tablet, anything like that to listen to it. The problem is if it's a long flight and has in-flight entertainment, we have an issue on our hands. The Apple AirPods Pro are only Bluetooth. Now you can pick up a little thing like this, and I'll put a link in the description below. It's a Bluetooth transmitter you can plug right into that entertainment center. The only downside with this is that you do need to charge it. It does add up to one more thing in your bag, and you do get a bit of a delay, which can be annoying. So if that's gonna be too annoying for you, perhaps this is not an option. The Sonys come with a 3.5mm port on it, as well as a cable that comes in the bag, and also the little adapter for the crazy airlines that still use this thing. I don't understand why. Both of these options are gonna be good enough to listen to anything. The Sony is just ever so slightly higher on the quality, but the convenience of having that cord is just a lifesaver. To be fair, we have to break these into 2 categories at this point because there is a difference for short flights and long flights. Long flights typically have entertainment systems and things like that in them, where short flights often don't, and you're more likely to use your phones or tablets or things like that for entertainment. For long flights, we're gonna go with 5 popcorns for the Sonys and 3.5 popcorns for the AirPods Pros. That puts them neck and neck for the long flight category. But for short flights, we're gonna boost up the AirPods Pro to 4.5 popcorns, which puts them still in the lead. Absolutely beautiful, just look at that view. Oh, how about a word from our sponsor, Nomad Lane? Let's talk about our sponsor, Nomad Lane with the Bento Bag. This is a carry-on personal item that can fit under any airline seat, and every flight we've tried so far fit just fine. We've definitely tested this thing out. It can hold a ton as well. There are spots for your AirPods Pro in this front pocket. There's lots of dividers, little netted pockets that you can fit them in. It's gonna keep it from tumbling around. You can also fit the larger Sony XM3s right here in the back. There's a spot for that as well. Make sure to check out the link in the description below so you can find it for yourself, and there might be a discount code as well. Closely related to the last category is how long will these things last you when you're flying? And side note, this is a prop that I'm using, which is actually an award I won years ago, and it's my first use for it. A majority of the flights I go on are 4 hours or less, but I do occasionally go on trips that have 16-hour legs in the journey, which those are long and tiring. These Sonys work like a champ for those. Most of the trips I go on, the battery length will last all the way through the whole trip and back. Never gonna have to charge them ever. They have a 30-hour battery life with active noise canceling on, and they also charge via USB-C, which is awesome. We really like these things. They are amazing for that, and I couldn't ask for more. The Apple AirPods Pro will last you about 4.5 hours on a single charge, and you can put them back in the case to recharge them over and over again to get about 24 hours of listening time with the active noise canceling on. Now the downside is once these things are dead, they are dead, and you also need some downtime to charge them in between hands. So if you're on a 16-hour flight, you will be taking these things out, but your ears probably will be fatigued. You'll be eating, doing something else, so probably not that big of a deal. For battery life on long flights, the Sony WH-1000MX3s get 5 hourglasses, and the Apple AirPods Pro 4 hourglasses. Switching over to the short flights though, they both get 5 hourglasses for battery life. That puts the Sonys in the lead for the long flights, with the Apple AirPods Pro in the lead for the short flights, but one category still remains. If you're gonna listen to music or movies for a long period of time, obviously comfort is king, and these are my fuzzy slippers that I often wear, but you typically can't see them. Let me know what you think of them in the comments below. A general rule of thumb that over-the-ear earphones are gonna be more comfortable than earbuds for most people, and this is definitely true with these two options right here. Now, if you're looking for something just a bit more comfortable than these Sonys, check out the Bose QC35-2s. They have just a little bit more room in the ear cup to allow your ears to breathe and not touch as much. You're less likely to sweat. One nice thing with the AirPods Pro is they do have separate tips that you can use to make sure that they fit properly, and they also have a little tool with their app that you can see to make sure it's working with the active noise canceling. But still, in general, the over-the-ear earphones for longer periods of time are just more comfortable and less irritating than earbuds. So for long flights, we're gonna give the Sony WH-1000MX3s 4.5 fuzzy slippers for comfort, and the Apple AirPods Pro 3.5. But we're gonna bump those up to 4 fuzzy slippers for the short flights. In the end, after totaling up all the criteria of portable, blocking out sound, entertainment, duration, and comfort, the Sony WH-1000MX3s definitely win for the long flights, and the Apple AirPods Pro edge out the Sonys for the short flights. Now, if you're not as excited about the look or the form factor of the Apple AirPods Pro, you might want to check out the Sony WF-1000XM3s. They might be for you. Absolutely beautiful, just look at that view. Interested in which?